Are you ready to lose your hard-earned money?
Gentlemen, do not keep all of your money in the bank.
What if I told you that putting your money in the bank isn't actually the best thing to do with your money? What if I told you that keeping your money in the bank actually makes your money lose more value than you think? What if I told you that the bank isn't even the best investment out there? Yeah, there are a lot of things that we don't know as Nigerians, and we need to be educated about these things. Your money in the bank, putting your money in the bank, you're actually losing your money. When you put your money in the bank, you lose a lot more than you think. There are ways at which you can beat this thing. There are things that the government isn't telling you because they don't want you to know so that you won't actually be able to invest well. I'm here to open your eyes and help you see that through. So, about this time last week, I was coming back from lecture when somebody offered me a chance to open a bank account with them. So, the lady was like, I should open a bank account with them, that it would be nice. So, we had a little conversation, and she was like, the bank has an 8% API. That's, if you don't know what API means, annual percentage yield. So, that is how much they pay you back after every year. So she was like, they have 8% API, and that's actually very big when you compare it to normal banks. But I was like, inflation is still 34%, and you're giving me a return on investment of 8%. I'm still losing my money. To cut the story short, I didn't invest in the bank. So that's what actually brought the whole point of this video. Yeah, are you really sure that you should be putting all your money inside the bank? Is it really the safest option? And is there something better that we can put our money into? So in this video, we're going to find out. So as we should know, a bank is a financial institution that we keep our money into to keep it safe and secure. Traditional banks have a natural habit of giving us interest for the amount of money we keep in our account. So if you don't understand what interest is, let me explain. An interest is a percentage gain or an increase in price for the amount of money you put in the bank. It's just the bank's way of saying thank you for putting your money with us. Thank you for trusting us with your money. But here's the issue with traditional banks. Most traditional banks don't actually give you a decent interest rate. Yes, you can be earning interest rate, but the problem is how big is the interest rate? In Nigeria, most banks, not even in Nigeria, all around the world, most traditional banks have an average interest yield of 0.5%. Meaning that if you have $10,000 or 10,000 naira or 10,000 euros in your bank account, at the end of every year, they will give you 50 euros or $50 or 50 naira. That's the issue. They don't actually give you something big. It might be reasonable, yeah, because it's still something. But the problem is when the interest rate they give you is actually that small, it's not actually going to help you build wealth. It's going to take you a lot longer to build the wealth or create the life that you want. And that's the first issue. The second issue is that your interest rates aren't actually helping you. Because if you live in a country with inflation, inflation is everywhere. But when you live in a country with inflation, there is a problem. If your interest rates, okay, there is a problem. If you don't know what inflation is, let me explain. Inflation is simply the rate at which your money loses value. That is like if you have, let's just say, I live in a country that has 10% inflation. What that means is that every year, at the end of every year, my money loses 10% of its value. That's if I have $100 now, by the end of next year, by this same time next year, I'll have $90. That's just the value of my money. It's not that the $100 will change to $90. It's that the value of that $100 would reduce and only be able to buy something worth of $90. That's the problem with inflation. Inflation usually eats our money slowly and slowly and slowly. So when you put your money in the bank, you keep it safe and you try to grow wealth. That is what we normally do. But the problem is, when you put your money in the bank, the interest rates they give you are really, really small. When you have a 0.5% interest rate and your country has an inflation of 10%, you're never going to get anywhere. You're always going to be losing your money, no matter how hard no matter how hard you make it. And that is the issue with traditional banks. They give us low interest rates that don't beat inflation. And that is the problem. Inflation is the silent killer. It is taking away the buying potential of our money. The point is, putting your money in the bank won't make you rich. Because if you keep all your money in the bank, you're going to lose your money due to inflation. Another reason why you shouldn't put your money in the bank is because of the bank reserve issue. The problem with the bank is that banks don't have all your money. They just have a fraction of the money you keep there. Forget what you see in your account, but in your bank app or something, or your account balance. It's not actually all your money that is there. Banks keep a fraction of your money there in case you want to withdraw it, but they don't keep all. It's simply how the policy works. The government supports this. But you'll be like, but I can transfer money from this account to another account and it works. It's just online. It's just numbers that are changing. That's just what happened. Now, let me explain. If everybody in a bank, let's just say GT Bank, Guaranteed Trust Bank, if everybody in GT Bank goes to withdraw all their money, they cannot give them back. Do you know why? Because the bank simply doesn't have enough money to give them back. The bank has a fraction of the money everybody has. Maybe they keep 10%, some keep 20%, some keep 5% of all the cash in their customers' accounts, and then they use the remaining to borrow to other people so that they give them back with interest. That's what banks do. But when you, as an individual, want to withdraw all your money, if everybody wants to withdraw all their money, they cannot give them back. Like they want to withdraw it as cash, you cannot be giving back to them because the bank simply doesn't have enough cash to give around. That is just how it works. So let me give a story. When I was in 100 level, I used to bank with Heritage Bank. There was a point where I wanted to withdraw some cash. They couldn't dispense. I went to POS. They couldn't dispense. So I had to go inside the bank myself. So as I went to the bank, I went to the teller and I was like, I need money. But I was not the only person there. And they were like, they're out of cash. They don't have they can't give me anything. And that was just the problem. I had a lot of money in my bank app. I could see the money, but I couldn't touch it. And that was the issue with it. That is the issue with the bank. When everybody wants to take their money, they don't have enough. And the reason they don't do this is because the reason is like this is because when banks keep a fraction of your money because they hope and believe that you won't come to take all your money at once. And that's what actually been working most of the time, but not all of the time. So these are the two main reasons why you shouldn't actually keep your money in the bank. There's another reason. Another reason is that the investments bank do, you don't really know about it. They use your money to pay for. They can use your money to fund prisons and fund torture centers, but you don't know. But it's your money. They just use your money, invest it in stuff that you don't know. But the problem is when you sign an account with them, when you open an account with them, you already signed this thing. You've already signed the contract, and they are allowed to use your money to actually invest in anything. You can use your money to fund for feeding of people, or fund for detention centers, or fund for research that you don't support. That's the problem. That's another problem with the banks. So you can be asking me, Opinia, is there a solution to this? Well, the answer is yes. If your problem is that you live in a high inflation country, the best thing to do is to convert your extra money because you still need money in the bank. Your bank is for, you can keep your money in the bank for emergencies. The best solution is to convert your extra money. Like if you don't want to make investments and you don't want to lose the value of your money, the best solution is to convert your extra cash into a currency that has little to no inflation, like the US dollar or the Great Britain pound or the Saudi Arabian the Kuwait dinari or the Kuwait dinar, because these currencies, though they have inflation, the inflation is so low that your money losing value won't lose value immediately, unlike the one in your country's economy where the value of your money keeps decreasing. That is a safer option if you're trying to build wealth. Then converting your money to another currency isn't actually going to be enough. You should consider investing in stocks, investing in bonds, investing in education. Investing in education, investing in land, investing in real estate. It mustn't only be stocks and bonds. You can invest in anything. An investment is anything that you put your energy, time, and resources into, and over time it gives fruit. It yields profit. That is an investment. An investment can be a company. An investment can be a business. An investment can be a share. It can be one of these things, but it can also be education. If you educate yourself and learn something, and then after learning the thing, you actually go and make 3x or 4x the amount of money you were making before. That is an investment. Investment doesn't have to be stocks or bonds only. Think of investment like this. Investment is a seed you plant and you water it and you groom it, and then over time that seed becomes a tree. That is investment. That seed becomes a tree. That is how investment works. So with this video, I hope that I have actually helped you understand the reason why you shouldn't keep all your money in the bank and why it's actually safer to start investing now. Don't get me wrong, a bank is a good place to keep your money if you want it safe. But if you want to build wealth over time, the bank is not the best option. A bank is good to keep your emergency funds. That is money, keep your money in the bank that you need now. That you use now for the next 3 to 6 months. You can keep it there. But keeping all your money in the bank is a bad idea. Keep your money in the bank for emergencies and immediate purposes only. But if you're trying to build wealth, investing is the answer. Whether it's education like courses or webinars, or you put your money in stocks, just put your money, invest in something that will give you yield over time. Now, very important disclaimer: do not put your money in, very important thing, do not put your money in something you don't understand. I'm not a financial expert. I'm just somebody trying to build wealth. Do not put your money in something you don't understand. Just because don't put your money in sporty. Sporty is not an investment. Trading self isn't exactly what I'll call an investment. But anyway, the point is, don't put your money in something you don't understand. Simply because you hear put your money, put $50, get $700 in 3 months or in 5 months. If you don't understand it, don't put your money. I've lost a lot of money last year. Oh God, I've lost a lot of money because of these stupid things. And I wish somebody would have told me earlier. Even if they had told me, I wouldn't have even listened. But the point is, don't put your money in something you don't understand. If you don't understand something, don't put your money into it. If you want to put your money into something and you're curious about it, then buy a course, learn about the stuff. That is the best advice. Anyway, I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video next week. Ciao.